so this is my second video, and I want to talk about dating. I want to talk about dating specifically as a trans woman. Dating generally, obviously, is a real minefield, and it comes with its ups and its downs, and letdowns, and you fall in love, and it falls apart, and that kind of stuff. But I think as a trans woman, you have to factor into, when do you tell someone? At what point do you tell someone you're trans? Are they the right person to tell that you're trans? Are they going to react badly? Are they going to react positively? It really is a massive unknown thing, and it's something that stands in the way, I think, of all trans women dating, because you have to decide when the time is right for you. If that person's the right person to tell, you don't want to go about telling just anyone. You also don't want to come across verbal or even physical abuse, which I have done in the past. My general thing on it is that I tell guys before I get intimate with them. Because I think that often guys feel that if they've been intimate with you and you haven't told them, then they feel deceived or they feel betrayed in some sort of way. Which obviously is not how I see it, but that's how they would see it, and that's kind of understandable from their point of view. You do get guys that are absolutely fine with it and have no problems with it. You'll get the ones that, yeah, it's quite easy to filter out the dickheads really from the really nice guys that kind of want to start dating you for you and not for your past. Everybody has a past at the end of the day, but at the same time, I do respect if a guy doesn't want to date me specifically because I'm trans. Just because for some people it's too much to take on. For some guys, they don't like the stigma that's attached to it. They wouldn't want their friends to find out. A lot of guys have said to me that they don't want to date me because they want to have a family in the future and be able to, have their first child with the person that they end up with. I find dating really difficult, and I find it really traumatic, and I find it really a complete letdown. I always think that I go into something being true to myself and being true to them. And generally after a few dates, I'll tell them that I'm trans if I feel like there's a future. But I always see it becomes a problem eventually. Whether it's 2 months down the line, 4 months down the line, 6 months down the line, because I am so out and out trans. I think a lot of them get put off by this, and I think that people do start to worry again about who in their family circle or their friendship circle is going to find out that they're dating a trans woman. So yeah, it's a really difficult one. I think it shouldn't put you off dating. Obviously, we're all human beings, and we want to be loved, and we want to hopefully find that one person. But I think you need to be sensible about it. You need to think about what you're going to tell them, whether you're going to tell them that you're trans. In my experience, it's always good to tell them. I think that if you're with someone and they don't know, you're always going to be paranoid about them knowing, finding out from someone, and always just kind of watching your back and not being able to relax. And you also have to think about where you tell them. Make sure it's a public place. Make sure it's that people know, like your friends know, that that's the evening you're going to be telling that person. You're in a lively bar or somewhere that you're not just one-on-one with that person, because you don't know how they're going to react, and you need to look after your own safety really more than anything. And also I think that when you tell them, you need to tell them in a way that comes across as though it's not an issue to you. That being trans for you is not a massive burden to you. It's not something that you feel would implicate or kind of ruin the relationship that you would have with them. Because the more that you play it down, the less that they'll see it as being a huge thing, I guess. I guess it's kind of, each person's different and individual, so you just have to go about it in your own way. I still haven't found someone that I want to be with, or that wants to be with me, and I don't know if I ever will. I'm quite happy being single and being on my own, just because I don't have to deal with the having to come out and tell someone. And yeah, I just think that dating generally is quite difficult. But that's my experience, not necessarily everyone's experience. I know a lot of trans women who are married, who are in happy relationships, and who've been really lucky to find guys that are really accepting. But yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, bye.